Everybody Has One podcast. We are back. Another week. So much going on in the world of sports. So little time to discuss it all. I'm your host, Jason Flake. My co-host, Lance Reynolds, a.k.a. the People's Champ. I can't hear Lance, nephew. There you go. My co-host, Lance Reynolds, a.k.a. the People's Champ.
What up, though?
There you go. Man, we like to start the show the same way each week, man, giving love and respect and props and praises and appreciation to the Everybody Has One family for a great week of engagement. Thousands of views on the YouTube channel. Great engagement on all the social sites. Please continue to like, share, and subscribe. That's Everybody Has the #1 sports podcast on YouTube. That's Everybody Has One spelled out sports podcast everywhere else. That is Facebook, that's Instagram, that's Threads, that's Twitch, and that's TikTok. The audio version of the podcast is available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts as well. Make sure y'all tapping in with us on all and any of those sites and engaging with us across all of those platforms. We appreciate the Everybody Has One family so very, very much. None of this is possible without you continuing to engage. When you like, when you share, when you subscribe on YouTube at Everybody Has the #1 sports podcast, make sure you hit that subscribe button. When you hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit the bell notification. When you hit the bell notification, make sure you select all so that you are notified every time that we go live, every time that we post new content, new shorts, new videos. And we are here live each week at around 8:30 or as close as we can get to it. It was 9 p.m. this week, of course. And then
little CP time, I never heard of that.
Little CP time. And then, of course, we'll be off next week, but we will be back the first week in July to chop it up about everything that has gone on, NBA draft and such. But let us get on to our topics for this evening.
Let's do it.
Because they are many. Of course, we know the NBA Finals has wrapped up, and congratulations to the New York Knicks this past Saturday night after taking a commanding 3-1 series lead in Game 4, completing the largest comeback in NBA Finals history. 29-point comeback, by the way. The New York Knicks won Game 5 by a score of 94-90. The 29-point comeback in Game 4 marked the fifth 20-point playoff comeback for the Knicks in the past 3 seasons. Just for context, over that time period, every other NBA team that falls down by 20 points or more in the playoffs is 4-71. The New York Knicks are 5-3. So now for the first time in 53 years, the New York Knicks are NBA champions. Jalen Brunson wrapped up the 5-game series with 45 points in 41 minutes on 14-27 shooting from the field, including 4-7 from three-point range, completing a feat never before achieved in the NBA. He won the NBA Cup MVP. I know the People's Champ is a fan of that. He also won the Eastern Conference Finals MVP, and he won the Finals MVP in the same season.
And the Skills Challenge.
And
was that the Shooting Stars? That's what it was.
Was it Shooting Stars? Okay.
Shooting Stars.
I missed that one. But let me ask the People's Champ, man. Does this run make Jalen Brunson the best American player?
Man, it's hard to say he's not. He's without question the most accomplished.
Yeah. I mean, listen.
And the most decorated. So, I mean, all the other guys, they got to catch up.
Yeah.
So, are there guys that you would probably say more talented, but hasn't that kind of just been the story with Jalen Brunson? So, yeah. I'll say if you're asking me right now today, who could it be other than Jalen Brunson?
Yep. Listen, I have to agree. As of today, this day, Jalen Brunson is the best American player, man. You got to hand it to him. We discussed his playoff numbers over the past 3 seasons. He's essentially averaging 30 points per game, 29.6 to be precise, but that rounds up to 30, 7 assists, 3 rebounds. He's the best clutch player in basketball. That's hardly up for debate anymore, in my opinion. Again, we talked about 45% over the first 3 quarters in this playoff run, 59% in the fourth quarter and overtime. He is the New York Knicks fourth quarter offense. Let's be real. Karl Anthony Towns is their second best player. Karl Anthony Towns in this 5-game series had 2 fourth quarter points.
Yep, I know.
2. So yeah, I mean, like, it's hard for me to say that he's not. I mean, we mentioned the success and the comebacks over the past 3 playoff runs. I believe a large portion of that success is because of him and his ability to just come up big in those big moments. We mentioned 45 points in game 5. 45 of the 94 points. He basically had half the points. I believe, I was looking it up. Guys to have 45 points or more in a closeout game.
Him and Mike.
Mike, Magic in that game when he was 20.
Yep.
And I think
Giannis.
Giannis
with the 50 burger.
50-point game in game 6. Thanks, nephew. Yep. I was looking up those. So, I mean, that's elite company, man. I mean, the guy just continues to do big things. Now, let me say that just because I believe he's the best American player doesn't mean that if we held a draft for all American players today that I would necessarily pick him number 1.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Because and the example that I give is my favorite player is Isaiah Thomas, right? Now, I don't know if at any time Isaiah was better than Michael, Magic, and Bird. But I know that in individual playoff series, he outplayed each one of them en route to a championship. He did do that.
Wow.
That is on record.
Wow.
He did do that. Now, whether or not he was individually better than any of them at any given time is probably a subject up for debate.
Yeah.
It's not something we could debate. We gonna debate today. It's probably a conversation for another day.
Yeah, because I mean, a lot like Isaiah Brunson, they're similar. Whereas Brunson kind of dictates and picks his spots.
Correct.
But I think Isaiah did it more, had to do more in terms of sacrificing his game.
Yes, I agree.
Offensively, just because I think that Brunson just has better players.
Yeah, I mean, I agree.
You know what I mean? Like he doesn't have to do as much for them.
Yeah.
To get off, as opposed to, Isaiah really has to set people up and put people in the right spot and make sure they're in the right spot for them and thus the team.
Yeah, I agree.
To excel.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're definitely in different circumstances for sure. Because to your point, and again, I didn't want to adjudicate this particular point right now, but it's a great conversation, and it's definitely something that we'll come back to. Because I like this discussion because Isaiah's responsibilities were so much different than Jalen Brunson's. Because again, we talked about it. Brunson has basically been their fourth quarter offense. Like if you look at his usage rate in the fourth quarter, and again, that's something that we'll get into. But I mean, he's the fourth quarter offense. Like he just picks it up. I think he went on a 10-0 run in the fourth quarter by himself in game 5.
Yep, he did.
So, like if you, I have some other statistics. I'll get into those. Yeah. Like, so the point that I was making is that if we were drafting all of the American players today, I'm not necessarily saying I would draft Jalen Brunson number 1 because there are other factors, right? For example, Anthony Edwards and Cade Cunningham are both 24. Jalen Brunson is 29. They're both 5 years younger than him.
Right.
They're bigger, they're stronger, they're better defenders. So I would have to consider drafting one of them in front of him. But again, for today, Jalen Brunson is the best American player. Like you said, his accomplishments put him in that spot. And, you just can't take that away from him.
No.
And, what he's done and what he continues to do, what he's done consistently. And, again, all of the comebacks, the being clutch, the hitting the big shots.
Bro.
I mean, he was on the floor. And, again, I don't want to belabor this, but I just need to make this last point, and then we'll move on to the next question. He was on the floor with possibly the best defensive player that we'll see in our lifetime. I'm not ready to give him that crown yet, but this is the way he's going. He's the only unanimous defensive player of the year ever. And Jalen Brunson ain't particularly big. He's not particularly crafty. He's not the long-range shooter, again, that Steph is. Dude dropped 45 points in a closeout game. Like, that's not nothing. Like, that's huge. And that's, listen.
In the game, they were trailing.
That's what I'm saying.
Another one.
Yeah, no, and that was the point that I was gonna make, man.
They were down 12 in each of the games they won in the series.
In the past 30 years, in this series, the Knicks completed 3 of the 7 largest second half comebacks in NBA Finals history.
Yeah.
I saw 3 of the top 5.
Yeah. I mean, that could be. But this is what I'm saying. Like, they came back. They were down double digits in every game.
Yep.
Every game.
Yep.
They trailed in the last minute of every game.
Yep.
So, but let's shift gears, man, because I do want to get on to the Spurs. Let's turn our attention to them. Fresh off a disappointing loss, is still remaining possibly the most intriguing young team in the NBA. A flood of ideas have begun to circulate about how they can get better faster. Everything from trading Dylan Harper and Devin Vassell for Donovan Mitchell to create a Fox Mitchell.
God,
Wemby
what the
victory.
heck? Who?
I'm just throwing it. Don't shoot the message. Right?
What?
I know. I said the same thing when I was like, what? 2, remaining patient and allowing the young players to develop. So I'm gonna ask the people's champ. I guess I could probably guess what you gonna say based upon that response. How should the Spurs approach this offseason? Continue to develop or look to upgrade? What say the people's champ?
I mean, that caught me off guard.
I mean, I saw that too. I was like, what? What? Cleveland should jump at that. If that's presented, man, Cleveland should jump at that without hesitation.
In the hell.
Right.
But
see if they'll take Harden too. Because I take the Vassell, Dylan Harper backcourt that is younger, cheaper.
I hear stuff like that. I say, well, man, if that's the info coming from the professionals, we can't be doing that bad.
Right.
I'm saying, Lord.
Yeah, somebody floated that. That's what somebody said.
Ooh-wee. But when it comes to the Spurs, I think a lot of times we're all guilty of it where we just kind of make more of what the reality is.
Yeah.
Let's keep in mind, before the season started, most quote-unquote experts have the Spurs as like a play-in team. That would be like the ceiling for them in terms of like a success.
Yes.
If they were getting to play in, maybe push a 1 or 2 seed to the limit in the first round.
Yeah.
And, you see and, assess the growth of your young players.
Sure.
And then from there, you kind of see what pieces you need and then what steps each player needs to take for the team to go to the next level, per se. So, to go from that, we got to keep in mind that this team overachieved by a mile.
Yeah.
Like
in many respects.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, to knock off the defending champs.
Yep.
Was it at Oklahoma?
Yeah, they were the number 1 seed. Yeah,
at OKC. I mean, that's tough. I mean, your point guard is a basically a defensive-minded college senior.
Right. Yeah,
Junior.
no doubt. Yeah.
You know, come to find out your second best player is 20.
Yeah. Right. They babies.
Your franchise is coming off a career-threatening injury.
Yep.
So, you know, I think a lot of that has gotten lost with just for the simple fact that people got caught up in they're here now.
Yeah.
And, you know, people are acting like we expected them to be here now.
Sure.
You know. So, I mean, with that said, I think the main thing to me is a lot of player development.
Yeah.
I think that's the big thing. Stephon Castle has to develop a more consistent jump shot.
Yep.
If he's going to stay on the ball as the point guard, which I mean, I think he's capable of.
Sure.
You know, there's more film room involved. You
Yeah.
know, and he's a strong kid. He can get stronger.
Yeah, I agree.
Dylan Harper, same thing. He can get stronger with the basketball. Probably more minutes won't hurt. I'm pretty sure that'll happen.
Yeah, I mean, right. Yeah, those kids, they're only going to get stronger because they just kids.
Yeah, just that's just how
Yeah, they
it just goes. That's just how maturity.
Exactly. Yeah,
works.
I'm like they're going to get physically stronger.
Carter Bryant.
Yep.
Another guy with. I mean, you can just kind of look at his frame and see that, like, okay.
He just needs to get under control. You know, you can see
just coaching, film, reps.
He got a little bit of Ron Holland in him. You know, like he
just
kind of
like,
remind me of Ron Holland.
Yeah, like you're here now. You belong here.
Yep.
Settle down.
Yep. Just get under control.
Even Devin Vassell, what is he? 25, 26?
Yeah, he's 25. Yeah, he's 25.
Yeah, these guys are young, so they overachieve.
Yep.
Wemby. I think a lot of the kind of goes back to the old phrase, what makes you laugh makes you cry.
Yep.
A lot of what they had to do in terms of his maintenance and minutes kind of came back to bite him in the playoffs as they went on.
Yeah.
You know, you could see him look gassed.
Yep. Yeah, we're going to get to Wemby, too. I got a Wemby question down the road. But, yep, I concur.
So, those are things that they can do and that they can work on. In terms of, like, other players, yeah, I think they can use some more beef up front.
Yep.
Because, I mean, they do kind of have, like, the OKC wing stop thing going on.
Yep.
Where they've got a lot of perimeter players that, I mean, some games in the regular season, if Wemby's on the bench, they were having like Keldon Johnson at like the 4 or 5 sometimes.
Yeah. Most definitely. Yeah. So, he definitely he mostly plays the front court.
And and then like when you see in a final series when it gets down to situational basketball, he's maybe not a matchup that you can go to at all for an extended, period of time.
That's a great point. Good observation.
So, there's things like that. I mean, I don't know who those guys are, per se. I've heard like a Rui. And, I mean, I like Rui, but I don't know if Rui necessarily helps them on the boards. I know he helps them with shooting and defense and size. And Rudy stays healthy. Yeah,
I saw somebody had mocked up a trade for Aaron Gordon.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because we talk about the Knicks winning the title. Wemby needs like an Oakley.
Right.
You know what I mean? He needs a goon that's just there to do the stuff that Wemby was kind of getting baited into doing.
Yeah.
Just have a guy that's signed up for that. Bismack just kind of aged out of it.
Yeah.
If this was, 2011, 2012, that would have been Bismack Biyombo.
Yeah.
Because he was still a starter around that time there. So
what you got, nephew?
So for the Spurs, when it comes to them, and I want to preface this by saying when we traditionally look at contracts and whatnot, we think of the dollar value.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to in terms of what value they bring to the team, I think it's important to look at how salaries are actually determined through the CBA and whatnot. And that's your salary for the most part, if you're a high-paying player, is a percentage of the cap.
Correct. Yes. I
think they did poor planning by re-signing De'Aaron Fox right after drafting Dylan Harper. Yeah. And that's not a shot against De'Aaron Fox because I believe De'Aaron Fox earned that contract. I think the question going forward is De'Aaron Fox going to be worth 40 to 50% of your remaining cap?
No.
After you factor in what Wemby's going to get, because Wemby's going to get a 30% of the cap with his time to get his
I think
extension.
They're gonna do that probably this summer. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. Yep. So
no, that's in
you're
my
moving
notes,
forward for the next 4 years, which in my mind, and the way the league is set up currently, like I'm not about to go in here and start trying to predict dynasties or whatnot at this point. Right. You got to win too at this point for me to start talking dynasty.
Yes. Word.
I don't think it's far-fetched to believe that Wemby could win a title in the next 4 years.
No, absolutely
And
not.
I think that De'Aaron Fox contract is going to end up hampering them more than it helps them. And it's not because I think De'Aaron Fox is a bad person. I just think the value he brings to the Spurs isn't worth what he... It's like the LeBron situation, I guess, at the end of the day. And not the same as far as like, oh, LeBron's just a 40-year-old who's on the back end of his career. It's just the fact that where the Spurs are right now as a team, he kind of doesn't fit into that picture as of what they need and what they can afford to pay somebody of that caliber.
Right, but again, that's my point. They got too far ahead of their skis. Like they were a victim of their own greatness.
Man,
you know what I mean?
They signed that De'Aaron Fox contract on April the 25th. They ain't had to do that.
That was signed last August.
I thought they just did that.
No, that was signed last August. He signed because I had to double back. I double back and checked on it because I wanted to make sure. Like, when did they get this contract done? They got it done in August last year.
They were thinking that De'Aaron Fox would be the guy, the veteran, the young enough veteran that they could lean on as they take this journey to ascend into a playoff contending team
this year.
Right. But you got to remember, it carried over from the Sacramento. Because Sacramento had just paid it.
It's bird rights.
No, next year, the first year.
First year. That's why I said, don't kick in until next season. He's untradeable. Like it's basically a $60 million. It escalates to $60 million.
And honestly, I don't think the Spurs themselves saw them going to Game 5 of the NBA Finals this year.
Right.
And I don't think they saw Dylan
Harper being
scoring
what he was,
300 points in the playoffs. Yeah. Like they didn't see that.
But if that's the case, why draft him number 3?
Right, I'm with you.
They drafted him number 2.
Even
2, yeah.
Well, it's like, what do you do? Like you trade? Do you trade the pick?
You don't re-sign De'Aaron Fox.
But I'm saying De'Aaron Fox was all. I mean, they did that after the draft.
After the draft, after you just drafted a wing at 2.
But they said they were going. They said they were going to draft Dylan Harper after Cooper Flag.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm with nephew. It's like you read my notes, bro. You could have basically come over because I basically have the same thought. I mean, I've been saying that about the De'Aaron Fox contract.
I mean, I'm not.
I've already
for
said
De'Aaron
that.
Fox.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is,
you're not wrong.
I just think it's more so they didn't plan on the cake baking this fast. I just don't think they foresaw that. I think they just really, for the first time, they were too smart. They was like, damn, and like now they're in a fix because they have a plethora. Of
the same kind of player, and he's the most expensive and the least valuable.
Right.
and I agree with everything you said, nephew. I basically have the same thing in my notes. Like, he's the most expensive of all of them and the least valuable.
You can't get rid of him.
And you can't get rid of him because nobody's going to take that contract before it kicks in, because that's essentially what you would have to do if you traded him this year. That you'd have to say, I'm going to take the whole $229 million over the next 4 years. Mm-hmm. For De'Aaron Fox. And again, like you said, it's no disrespect to De'Aaron Fox, but why would anybody take that? And then, even if you get that, you're going to have to trade the same money. So, like, even if you got somebody on an expiring contract for the same money, you're not even going to realize the savings until next year.
If Dylan Harper,
you'd have to get a third team involved.
If Dylan Harper continues on this trajectory, It's gonna be very, very hard for them in like 3 years when they have to re-sign them, and that De'Aaron Fox contract is still going on.
Yeah, no. What's gonna happen is they gonna be the odd man out.
Yeah.
And with that being said, selfishly as a Pistons fan, I'm calling on Devin Vassell this summer. Like, hey man, we see that y'all got a log jam over there at the wing. Why don't y'all go ahead and free up that $30 million, because he making about $30 million, and we need what he do. And I've been saying that. I'm like, I know we can't talk about it, seriously until the new league year and after the finals is over, because they made the finals. But I'm like, man, I'd be calling on Devin Vassell now, because he does what we need. He spreads the floor. He's a good 3-point shooter. And I know I'm not looking at his numbers because they got a log jam over there. Those numbers inflate when he comes somewhere where we need his wing scoring exclusively. You know what I'm saying?
And he can guard.
Yeah, and he can defend. That's what I'm saying. Like
That's what I like.
He played D. Yeah,
like I mean, as you looked at the playoffs, you look at these scores in the
that's what I'm
finals.
saying.
Like the defense is back.
Yeah, no doubt,
like,
no doubt.
Like defense is back.
No doubt. No, yeah, nephew, I'm with you. Yep. But the only thing that I'll say to add on to that, one of the phrases that I'm starting to despise, that I'm starting to dislike a lot, is ahead of schedule. I'm starting to hate that phrase, because really it really doesn't exist in sports, because you know how I feel. It's antithetical, first of all, to the way I feel. In professional sports, the future is now. There's no such thing as a arbitrary schedule. You go get it when you can.
I mean, I get that. But I'm saying when you have like a young team.
I understand what people mean when they say it. You know what I'm saying? It's not that I don't understand what people mean when they say it, but I'm just starting to dislike the phrase, because I think that it puts an arbitrary timeline in place.
I get. I see what you mean.
And I'm like, it really, there's no schedule. You know what I'm saying? You get it when you can. I know what they mean. Yes,
Right.
because we just talked. Yeah, like this is a bunch of young kids.
We were ahead of schedule. The Pistons
In 04. Exactly.
Now.
Yeah, we were. Yeah, we young. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, we don't really have no
2 years ago.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We won 14
games, right?
Yeah.
And then now all of a sudden we got 60 wins.
Like, I mean,
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But that don't make the disappointment any less.
no,
We still,
of course not.
We
Yeah,
still
for
want to
sure.
win.
I mean, when
Yeah.
you're there, you want to win.
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
get what I'm
Once you
saying?
get there, yeah.
But I think sometimes when it comes with the disappointment, when the recalibration process starts, I think that has to be appropriately calculated into how you improve.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you can I think you can hurt yourself putting too much stock into the fact you are, quote unquote, ahead of schedule. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Where, to your point, you kind of make it a crutch.
Right.
And you get a little false bravado with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I get
And one of the
what you
reasons
mean with
I
that.
hate, I'm starting to dislike it. I'm not going to say hate, I'm starting to dislike it, is because you never hear the term behind schedule. You
Right.
never hear anybody like, man, Jokic and Murray, they behind schedule for another championship.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
They tell you to trust the process
Yeah,
when that
exactly
happens.
right. Yeah, like you never hear behind schedule, man. LeBron and AD, they behind schedule for another championship. It's been since 2020. You know what I'm saying? Like, you never hear behind schedule. You only hear ahead of schedule. So I don't know. I just don't like that imaginary, because Ralph Sampson and Hakeem, they were ahead of schedule in 1986 when they made the finals, and they never made it back as a duo. Shaq and Penny, they were ahead of schedule in 1995 when they made the finals, and they never made it back as a duo. Durant, Westbrook, 2012, they were ahead of schedule when they made it to the finals. They never made it back as a duo. That's why I'm like, I'm kind of starting to despise that term, ahead of schedule. I'm like, it's really kind of arbitrary. The future is now. Nephew just stole almost my entire next part of my commentary about De'Aaron Fox, because I agree with him entirely. The De'Aaron Fox contract is going to be an albatross for the San Antonio Spurs, because Wemby's contract is going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of $300 million. And, nobody's going to be arguing with that, because that's what he should be getting.
For sure.
But
they'll find a way to get off that contract.
yeah, they're gonna have to.
They
They're
will.
gonna
They'll have. I mean, they'll have to get creative. They'll probably have to find a third or fourth team.
Yeah, I mean, but they're gonna have to find. But it's not gonna be immediate.
No,
It's gonna be they're gonna have to hang on to it for at least a year or two, and hope that De'Aaron Fox turn back into De'Aaron Fox at some point.
yeah, I think he will. I mean, and that's another thing too. He had a god awful finals.
He had a rough playoffs. I didn't think he would look great in the conference finals either.
Well, I mean, that's when he had the high ankle sprain, and this is like, I mean, like high ankle sprains suck.
They do.
Like that is like a 6 to 8 week injury.
But we kind of talked about it in the text that it was the decision making.
Yeah. I mean, no, don't get me wrong. It was bad. Look, it was bad.
He was throwing the ball away.
Like it was bad. But again, like I say, playing injured.
And I thought you made a great point. Because I think you nailed it. They expected him to be the veteran presence, the steady hand, and particularly in the 29-point comeback, he was anything but.
Oh my Lord.
He was awful, man. He made all the wrong decisions, and forget the breakaway layup that he should have dribbled out. Because a lot of people harping on that. Man, he had some throwaways. He threw the ball away.
Passes,
man, he had multiple errant passes. That's a 1-point loss. Any one of those possessions that he preserves could win the game.
Man, no, it was rough, man.
This is your veteran steady hand. This is the guy that
This is why they bought. This is why they bought him.
This is why they brought him in to be the veteran point.
And the crazy part about it is this is a former clutch player of the year.
This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm saying, nephew. That's why I said you stole the whole next part of my commentary.
I got a question for you.
What you got?
If Chris Paul's on that bench, do they blow that 29-point lead?
A lot of people brought that up. Probably so, because Chris Paul would probably remain on the bench. Like, whose minutes is Chris Paul taking in a situation like that? Like, is Chris Paul even in the rotation?
I don't know. Look at that. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a hard one.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
And this is just me going back to...
Because he certainly can't guard Jalen Brunson.
This is me going back to...
that part.
A take that Bill Simmons always had at the end of the year when evaluating players' value and whatnot. When you look at a player, ask yourself, would they have been on the floor for the last finals? And I don't think Chris Paul, outside of the respect he has for his tenure in the league, would have been on the floor.
That's
right.
That's
I mean, I get you. And
I agree with that now.
But I'm saying in the midst of, I'm saying not for the series.
Right.
I'm talking about in the midst of a 29-point lead that you are blowing and you are searching and fishing for anything possible to stop the bleeding. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm not saying
do you
Chris
just
Paul
arbitrarily
comes in and turns around and stuff. I'm not saying he comes in and turns the series around like Iguodala in 2015. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that one game turned the series to me.
Yeah. Oh,
like that. Like when that happened, it's over.
Do you arbitrarily insert Chris Paul?
I think when that's happening, and you see the guy that you bought in
That's
De'Aaron
intriguing.
Fox has come over and has just sharded all over the Madison Square Garden. Do you look down and be like, I just need 4 minutes. If we can just get 4 minutes of shot clock violations instead of instead of missed mid-range jump shots or bad threes that lead to run-out layups for OG Anunoby, it's just something.
No, I mean that's interesting. That's a good
I'm not the
question.
one to say, man, they needed Chris Paul. I'm just it's just kind of a testament of the performance of De'Aaron Fox in that finals and how rough it was. And let's not forget Game 5. Stephon Castle went 0 for 7, bro.
Yeah, I mean, listen, again, we talked about the youth, and let's talk about Wemby specifically, because much is made of the fact that Wemby only shot 42% from the field for the series. It's widely believed that Karl Anthony Towns won that physical matchup. What does Wemby need to add to his game to allow himself to win such matchups in the future? What say the people's champ?
30 pounds. He ain't going to get that over the summer.
No.
He might get 10 or 12.
Yeah, not 30.
I mean, but, it's some things are a process. Like physical development
Sure.
is a process. Now, I mean, he can get stronger.
Absolutely.
But that's something that, like, I don't know how NBA, like, conditioning goes during the season. Like,
Sure.
I don't know that dynamic. So let me stop fronting like I do.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if he's like committed to, which he seems to be,
Sure.
I mean, if he's committed to getting stronger, that will come. But that's more of a long-term thing. Short-term, he's got to get his ass in the box. I mean, it was times when they're winning and then they're off and running, or they just throw the ball up near the rim and good things happen. It's either some type of crazy tip, a lob, dunk, and one, foul, something. So, I mean, if he just consists, I mean, you can mix it up. I mean, it's cool that you can shoot and from deep and you can put it on the floor. That's fine. Do that when you're tired of banging in the paint.
Yeah.
And you want to give your body a break. Like, you know what? Let me step back and shoot the 18-footer or the step back. No one's if you got it, use it. Because,
Exactly.
I mean, it's not going to improve if you leave it in the bag.
Right.
So I'm not mad at that. It's just the ratio of his shots. But, yeah, and then, lastly, and I've been saying it, and people keep looking at me crazy, a damn sky hook.
Yeah.
Listen, man. It was so many times. I'm just like, bro, like that, he made the game a lot harder for him than it needed to be.
Yeah.
And to your point earlier in the season when we were talking about Victor and Jalen Duren,
Yep.
he ain't gonna get to 270 pounds.
No.
He's 7'6". When it's said and done, he might get in the 250s just because he's so long.
Just long, yeah.
Yep. 250s, maybe low 260s.
Yep.
And he'll still look slim.
Yeah, I was gonna say he'll always look slender because of his.
But
length.
he'll be stronger. But that'll come with time. But
with age, yeah.
you ain't gotta be Shaq to be able to get your shoulder in the defender's chest and just drop that thing in the basket like you at the carnival.
Yep.
And, once he gets one of those type of moves, as opposed to this Dirk Nowitzki step back that he tried to shoot at the end of game 2 for the game, and I think game 4 as well.
Yeah.
Like, nah, man, that's cool in the second quarter when you trying to see where your rhythm's at and to see if you own one for that night.
Yep.
But he needs to start out in the paint consistently, keep the pressure on the opposing defense, and don't let them off the hook by shooting so many jumpers. Like, I mean, it's cool and we know you can do it. But, man, like we say, man, basketball will always be a big man's game.
Yep. No, I agree with much of that. I'm going to call out some of these pundits, though, who lauded Wemby for being 7'5" with guard skills. Mm-hmm. The pundits who sold us and told us that Wemby was the 7'5" Kevin Durant. And then them same pundits saying during this series and really throughout the playoffs, how come he's starting 17 feet away from the basket? And I was like, have you ever seen Kevin Durant play basketball? Because that's where Kevin Durant plays. A wise man said, Wemby shooting 20 times to score 20 points, you can keep that. That wise man was me. And all of a sudden, Wemby shot profile is being criticized. 7'5" guys that don't get easy baskets, y'all can keep that. A wise man said that, and that wise man was me. So let me correct some misconceptions. First and foremost, the misconception is that Wemby is a good shooter. Wemby is a good shooter for a big man. He is a 35% three-point shooter. That, in fact, is league average.
Yep.
That's not a special three-point percentage. Kevin Durant, by the way, this past season shot 41% from three. That is a special three-point percentage.
What about Karl Towns?
40% three-point shooter. That's a special three-point percentage. He's had, and by the way, Kevin Durant has had seasons where he shot 45% from three, which is, I mean, that's dastardly. I mean, but that's another conversation. That's a special 3-point percentage. But the second misconception is that 7'5" with guard skills actually means something. It really doesn't. I like 7'5" with center skills, having the ability to step out on the floor like you brought up. And, that's a crutch that big guys will use because it's easier than working your way inside. Shooting ability should be a complement to the inside game, like you just pointed out. When you get tired, you can step out on the floor. But for Wemby, we can talk about him getting stronger. We can talk about him gaining stamina. We can talk about him adding a hook shot or a half hook. But none of that is going to matter if he doesn't change his approach offensively. Because I don't think anybody bought into the 7'5" with guard skills more than Wemby did. Nobody bought into the 7'5" Kevin Durant propaganda more than he did. So unless he sees himself as a physically imposing figure on both ends of the court, unless he sees himself as a guy who plays inside and can occasionally step outside to loosen up the interior, as opposed to a jump shooter who pulls up to drive, there will be more of the same. He's going to have more of those rough shooting nights because that is the nature of the beast.
Yeah.
The jump shot is fickle unless you Kevin Durant.
Yeah, dog.
Kevin Durant is a different animal. Kevin Durant is one of the illest offensive players to ever do it. And that's, conversation for another day.
And let's be real. Victor Wembanyama's 7'6".
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He's not 7'5". He's 7 foot. Have you seen this man around other 7-footers, dog?
Yeah, he's
like,
bigger
cut
than
the crap. But to your point, he was attempting game-winning field goals, falling away from
That's what
the
I'm
rim.
saying, bro.
And, and I love Wemby. I love the idea of Wemby. I have since NBA Live 95 came out, you could create your own basketball player. I think we all love the concept of what Victor Wembanyama can be.
Yeah.
I get it. But to maximize it,
Yeah.
he's got to get his Waka Flocka on.
Yeah, he got to play like a big.
Go hard in
man.
the paint.
Got to go hard in the paint.
Got to, man. And I think, too, to your point, too, I think what hurt him, which showed itself as the finals went on, was a lot of the load managing that they had to do during the season.
Yes.
And I get a lot of it came from the thrombosis from the year before, and also a man being so tall and lower extremity injuries. I get it. But now you see.
Right.
Like, how does that ramp up look
going
going forward?
Got to ramp up his minutes.
Yeah, how does that look?
Yep, and he's got to be ready to play because to your point, 29 minutes a game in the regular season, and then you get to the playoffs and all of a sudden he's playing, 44, 45, 46 minutes some nights. Mm-hmm. That is a far cry.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because when it's time to play ugly and you got the biggest dog in the yard and you can't play ugly, you got problems.
That's no question. So aside from effectively keeping Wemby pushed out on the floor, why do you think the Knicks dominated this series? What say the people's champ?
Well, Jalen Brunson aside,
Mm-hmm.
I think Mike Brown did a hell of a job.
Oh man, you got to give him his flowers, man. Did he? I mean, he just coached circles around poor young Mitch.
I mean, kind of, it kind of goes back to he didn't necessarily look down his bench for Chris Paul,
right?
But he looked down there for Jose Alvarado,
right? Grand Theft Alvarado, man.
And he just found a way. You lose about 29 points, it officially turns into a kitchen sink game.
That's right.
And he just so happened to press the right buttons that game, and I mean, he'll be a legend because of that. And then also too, what we talked about before the season started, OG's hammy held up.
Yep, it did.
His hammy held up.
But I think you called it out, and I don't mean to cut you off, but I think you called it out though. They didn't let it become a long series.
Yeah.
They kept it 5.
They wrapped, and he played like it.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he didn't. They ain't let it go 7. They going to cut
like
that thing short.
And those first 2 games, like you say, the series went on, the old cat was starting to show himself a little bit. But those first 2 games on the road, gotta get a man his due.
No, they played physically.
The
and it
first
started
2
with Cat.
for them to come into San Antonio against, we're old, so we can say against those kids, and to come in there and to take those first 2 games, I don't give a damn how young and dumb and confident they was saying they was. That shakes you.
Yeah. Oh my God.
That shakes you.
Oh yeah.
Like stop it, especially when you smelling your shit because you just beat the defending champs.
Yeah, no doubt.
So that was huge, and Towns was a big part of that. So I mean, I think getting those first 2 games was huge, and then I think Mike Brown just being able to push the right buttons when their backs were completely against the wall.
Absolutely.
Again, Jalen Brunson aside, because we'll be hearing the legend of Jalen Brunson in the summer of 2026 for the next 20, 30 years.
Yeah,
but,
no. This was
of course
epic,
he was
epic run for
yeah,
him.
of course he was brilliant.
Yep, epic run for
of
him.
course. But I mean, I think those were the main contributing factors from the Knicks side of things in terms of what was able to get it done for them.
Yeah, no, yeah. I echo a lot of that. Knicks won with physicality. It did start with Cat, like I talked about his lack of fourth quarter scoring, but what he did do is he played physically. He got into Victor Wembanyama, pause, but, he played extremely physical. He made life difficult for Wemby.
And Mitch Robinson did too with his size. I meant to mention him. Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're right. No, that's an excellent point. OG as well. I thought they played great physical defense, and I thought that contributed to wearing him down because in Game 5 he had to take a break at the 5-minute mark of the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
because I just thought they did a great job just wearing him down. And also, just a sidebar with respect to his stamina. Wemby is a two-way player too.
Yeah,
that makes a difference. Because a lot of guys, they malinger a little bit on defense to save up some energy for the offensive end.
and to your point, you think of all the great post defenders,
Yeah.
and two-way players.
Yep.
Russell,
Yep.
Wilt, Duncan,
Yep.
Dream, Deke.
They play close to the basket.
And what else did they do? They all played multiple sports.
Yep.
Whether it be swimming,
Yep.
track and
Yeah,
field,
that's right.
football.
Mm-hmm.
Heavy though.
Yep.
Like,
they did.
and
Yep.
I don't know if Victor has that same resume,
Yeah, no doubt.
but he's gonna have to get it. He's gonna have
Yeah.
to supplement that
Yeah, he
in
is.
his offseason regimen. My bad. But
Yep, that was a good sidebar. But yeah, the Knicks had more stamina though. They had more experience. They had better coaching. We talked about Mike Brown. They were better in crunch time. They were smarter. They took better care of the basketball. They showed that cohesiveness matters. We talked about the fourth quarter comebacks each game. They trailed by double digits in every game. They trailed in the last minute of every game. And I mean, they won with experience and poise, and that's just
They
what
didn't
it
quit.
is. No, they didn't. And then that just leads me to San Antonio, man. I'll ask the People's Champ, man, why did they struggle in the series?
I think the biggest thing for them it was the uncharted water.
Inexperience, yep.
I think that was the main culprit. I mean, certain things you just can't microwave.
Nope.
I
Gotta
mean,
do it.
I don't think people realize what they would have pulled off if they pulled this thing
I
off.
agree.
Like,
It would have been historic.
yeah, I mean,
and I root for history. I
Yeah.
picked the Spurs in 6. You know what I'm saying? Like, it full disclosure, I picked the Spurs in 6 because I wanted to see history, but 22-year-old centerpieces without a veteran superstar flanking them do not win NBA championships.
Yeah.
It would have been unprecedented.
and I thought the stage. I mean, again, and I'm giving respect to the fact that he had the high ankle sprain.
Yep.
But to your point, the decision making, I just think the stage had a lot to do with that.
Yeah, man.
And again, I think the reason why they bought him there was to kind of be that elite level player who could still kind of hold us steady and be with us through this thing.
But that's a great point though. But De'Aaron Fox had not made deep playoff runs.
Right.
Where if you look at, Magic when he was 20, but Kareem was the league MVP, had already won a championship, had made multiple deep playoff runs. Tim Duncan won at 22, but he had David Robinson, had already been a league.
Avery Johnson.
Yeah, had already been a league MVP, had already made multiple deep playoff runs, though. You look at who was the other example? Who won young like that? Kobe Bryant.
Well,
Kobe Bryant, he had Shaq. Shaq was the league MVP.
And not to mention his point guard won 4 championships and Ron Harper.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
So
he was, you know what I'm saying? They had made multiple deep plays. They knew what it took to get that done. Like, you have to have a veteran superstar flanking you and that knows what it takes to get there and get it done.
I agree. And if you don't, you better damn sure have a Hall of Fame coach on the sideline because, hey, Mitch, you can't take those timeouts in the summer vacation.
Yeah, bro.
And, you may want to think about double teaming the guy that's killing your team every fourth quarter of every game, like at least once, like flash a double. Like,
I mean, he had half the team's points,
God,
bro.
I mean, flash a double.
Something, bro.
Call Nick Nurse. He'll draw the boxing one up for you. Like, he don't run from it. But I do like Mitch, though. I'm not one of those guys talking about, they were talking like he might be the new Dave Blatt. I'm like, damn.
Come on, dog.
I'm like, whoa, dog.
Not too much on Mitch, man.
Come on. I don't think Dave Blatt should have got fired. Why we being real about it?
Not too much on Mitch Johnson.
So, I think Mitch will get better. The Spurs is one of those things that you can't simulate, so they'll definitely be better served from it. And it go two ways, though. I don't, you don't want them to fall in the trap because they're so young where they kind of treat the regular season as an afterthought.
Sure. Yep. Yeah, I know. Yeah, you're right. No, you hit all of they struggle because they inexperienced, man. A lot is being made of Wemby saying that they dominated. But, while I think that's crazy, it's not, though. They led for 72% of the time.
Almost 178 minutes.
They did.
178
They led
minutes.
for most of the series.
To the Knicks, like 55 minutes.
They had a double-digit lead in every game.
Like they led, like.
I know they got to feel like they let several games get away, but like you said, it's that, you know what the Knicks reminded me of? They reminded me of a veteran boxer who gave away early rounds because they knew they had the power to knock you out late.
Yep.
Tank Davis does that.
Yep.
As an example. Like people always complain that he starts slow. But then, in the fifth round, you'll see him, boom, drop a body shot that'll double over his man.
Man, you had to bring up boxing.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that maybe next week.
Right, yeah.
Because Earl Spence, my Lord. We'll talk about that next week.
But yeah, you know what I'm saying? So like that's what they remind you of though. Because I think they've beaten the Spurs like 10 of the last 11 times they played. Like I think that if they played 7 more games, I think San Antonio would take a double-digit lead in every game and get walked down in 9 of them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and Brunson embodies that style.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like he just like when you what you describe,
don't quit.
What you describe is number 11.
Yes,
like Jalen Brunson is inevitable.
Yes,
like if you FAFO with him on the court, you are going to lose. Like you have to extinguish that man.
Yeah, no doubt.
You have to stomp him out.
I said,
pour water on it. Like,
that's what I said. I'm like the Knicks in the last 3 years. Again, every other NBA team in the playoffs that falls down by 20 points is 4-72. The Knicks, when they fall down 20 points, are 5-3. They have a winning record. The rest of the league is 4-72. That is noteworthy. Them dudes, just like you said, you got to stomp them out and put them out. Being up by 29 is not, you ain't even safe.
That is a crazy, and
we witnessed.
that was the craziest thing I ever seen.
Yeah, man. So, no, man. But again, congratulations to the New York Knicks, man.
Yeah, man.
I think we, go ahead, nephew. What you got before we transition?
The last thing I got for y'all, sorry. I know the favorite thing people like to do at the end of seasons is look at the champions and start talking about legacies and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily care for where Jalen Brunson places all time and whatnot. I just wanted to talk about something that I had mentioned in the group chat.
Mm-hmm.
How many Hall of Famers were solidified after Game 5?
I mean, listen, I think that Cat is a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, it's the Naismith Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
So he's the NCAA champion.
Well, yeah, and then he been a six-time, multiple-time
All-NBA.
All-NBA, a six-time All-Star.
Yeah, he's in.
I
Mike
think-
Brown's in. He's
yeah.
got like 6 rings now, 5 rings now.
Yeah. Yup. And then I think definitely Brunson.
And Brunson, if you just go back to look at Jalen Brunson's accolades from high school to now,
Yeah.
like,
And then even as an NBA player, he's multiple-time All-NBA. Now he's a Finals MVP.
Yeah, but with Naismith, they consider it all.
Yeah.
So if you
Clutch
want
player of the year, I'm like,
you want to stack up his just
Yeah.
basketball life resume, he's walking in. So that's
Yeah.
3. Was this the second chip for OG? He's young, so he's probably en route. He's got to probably put some
he's
seasons
got
together.
multiple-time All-Defensive teams for sure.
It sounds like 6, possibly.
Yeah.
Because if you putting Brunson in, then you got to put Bridges in.
Yeah, how could you not put Brunson in?
Yeah, no, Brunson,
How could you
Brunson
not?
is a
High school
shoo-in.
player of the year,
Yeah,
college player of the year, Final Four outstanding player, All-American.
Yeah, and
I agree.
Brunson
Yeah,
a shoo-in.
yeah,
though.
like,
Like,
so
Brunson
I
ain't a
think Cat-
conversation.
So I think Cat.
Yeah,
so I think
Brunson's
Cat-
not a conversation.
And again, because I'm saying
Cat
with
for sure.
Naismith,
Yeah.
they factor
they
in
all
your
your
college and high
basketball,
school.
yeah.
So I think Cat, Brunson, Mike Brown are 3 for sure.
Yeah.
And then
I think Bridges is in, especially if he keeps that.
well, yeah, Mikhail, he takes over his Villanova resume with
Yeah.
him, his Iron Man streak with him.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I was gonna say his Iron Man streak is
I think-
Still active.
I think it was 4 that was solidified, and then I think it's 2 possibles with OG and Josh Hart.
yeah.
Again, the Villanova resume, you
Yep.
can't hate on it.
Yeah, no, that's a excellent conversation. Like I think that's definitely something we can do a deep dive on.
Shout out Leon Rose.
And that's not
Worldwide
and that and
West.
you know what? That's not to mention, I think a number of them Spurs, man, are, like definitely Wemby's gonna be a Hall of Famer for sure. You know what I'm saying? Like I think he, you can almost pencil him in.
I mean, you can almost kind of look at what he's been doing internationally.
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like you could almost pencil him in as one. I mean, like I would, De'Aaron Fox got a nice resume. Like we talked about how poorly he played, but he's actually got a nice resume. I'm not gonna, say that you can necessarily chisel his name in stone.
No, but he's a winner soldier alternative.
Yeah, I know.
alternate right
yeah,
now.
He got a
He's an alternate. He's
needs
not
it. But he's been clutch
what they
player
call
of
it.
the
He's
year.
a reserve.
Yeah,
he's
he's
a
been a
reserve.
multiple-time All-Star. He's been All NBA. Though,
He's a
so.
winner soldier reserve right now. We not going. We not going.
Yeah, we ain't
full
gonna.
blown.
Yeah, we ain't gonna
He ain't
necessarily
earned
throw
his
that
patch.
cape on him. Yeah,
he ain't
but,
earned his patch.
But
But he's a reserve.
But we need to see you play better,
Yeah,
man.
we got his number in the Rolodex.
Yeah, man, listen, he's on Winter Soldier watch. That's for sure. He's on our watch list.
For sure.
But let's transition, man, and talk about the NBA draft because we are now just days away with the finals being over. We turn our attention to that. The withdrawal deadline was this past Saturday, so teams and prospects are now in the final stretch of meetings and workouts heading into round 1. There's obvious intrigue around the draft, but most of it is with the Washington Wizards. The number 1 pick, top prospect Darren Peterson, has refused to work out for anyone other than the Wizards. with why AJ DeBanza has worked out for both the Wizards and Jazz. So let me ask you, man, who do you think is the better fit for which team and why? Or do you not have strong feelings about where either player lands?
Yeah,
Let me say the people's champ.
Yeah, now you're talking. So let me say this. I think this will be one of the good things that comes from this whole lottery restructuring.
Yeah.
Because now finally these moribund, inept NBA front offices will no longer hold us hostage by just doing, this. Because, the reason why this is happening is because no one wants to play for the Wizards because they're a bad franchise.
Yeah.
And, bad franchises are headed by idiots. You know? So in terms of, I think AJ should go number one, but I think AJ wants to go to Utah.
Yeah, I think he wants, God only knows. But he actually wants to live in Utah.
Well, I think he's been there since high school.
Correct. Yeah. So and he likes Utah. Yeah, I'm like,
Hey man, anything that can improve the race relations in Utah, I'm here for it, man.
Yeah, I mean,
do us proud, AJ.
Shout out to Utah, man. I'm not gonna pretend to have much knowledge of what goes on there. I've never been, but I mean, listen, maybe it's nice, man. So I'm not gonna judge.
Salt Lake City is nice.
Yeah,
nice city.
I actually think, listen, God forbid we talking Wizards basketball. I actually think that Peterson is probably the better fit
for the Wizards.
For the Wizards, I actually think I like him as a fit there because I feel like Trae Young can be too ball dominant. I like another ball handler over there. I think that
y'all just not gonna be happy that Trae Young is out of the NBA.
No.
I just want Trae Young in China.
I like Trae Young. I just think that it would be better if he could have another ball handler in the backcourt with him.
Yeah, Peterson, and he's a ball handler and a shot creator. Ain't no doubt about that.
And not to mention, I think that they kind of have a log jam in Utah with Collier and Keontae George. So, you know what I'm saying? I think that he'd be a better fit in Washington. Again, not that I do a deep dive on Utah Jazz and Washington Wizards roster construction and all of that, but I kind of feel like he would be a better fit. But it might go the other way around. What you got, nephew?
If I was AJ, my only worry about the Utah situation would be how they're currently handling the Walker Kessler situation.
Yes. He's a Walker Kessler. He in the same situation as Duren, right?
Right, but they're offering. I think the word came out that they're only offering him $140 million.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But isn't Kessler coming off an injury though?
Yeah, and I'm not saying that that's not fair value or whatnot. It's just the gap between the two, and that's probably Kessler probably overvaluing himself a little bit, or I shouldn't say Kessler's team overvaluing him a little bit, but it's kind of
how many years they giving him? 140. How many years for 140?
I think it's the full four.
Oh, yeah. You know what? If he restricted, somebody gonna make a better offer sheet than that.
Yeah. They will.
Somebody gonna beat that. I think that that's gonna get beat.
Well, yeah, because
I'm sure he ain't signing that.
They already paid Jaren Jackson.
Yeah, that's right. Yep, he got a
and
big contract.
And they got Lauri Markkanen in there. So
that's what I'm saying. So to your point about the law, I think the whole Jazz roster is a lot. It's a lot, James.
Yeah, but it's like you ain't passing up on 6'9", 52% from the field.
Yeah, I know. I like the Brunson.
Man.
Oh, no. They're not going to pass on them because they have two. So they're just picking whoever's
they
left.
They gonna pick either
but if
Peterson
I'm AJ, as much as I probably
like Utah,
like Utah, and
they got Bailey too.
What's the word I'm looking for? Like Utah and appreciate how Utah the state of Utah has embraced them.
Right.
I would still be trying to go to Washington because at the end of the day, at least it looks like they're trying to set themselves up in a situation to compete down the road.
Yeah. No, I mean, actually, you know, I mean, I kind of chuckle.
And I'm talking about as far as like spending money.
No, I mean, Washington could actually be decent next year. They could actually be a problem, you know, like if Anthony, you know, like here, the biggest if in the world, but if Anthony Davis could actually stay on the floor, I mean, right, hey, listen, don't shout me down, but if Anthony Davis could actually stay on the floor next year, and, you know, like either one of these guys is going to immediately improve the roster at their position. They have Alex Sarr, you know, like their defensive front court will be one of the best in basketball if you can have a healthy Anthony Davis and Alex Sarr. Anthony Davis, you know, again, we know what he can be when he's healthy. Like the guy is one of the best two-way bigs in history when he's healthy. And, you know, Debansa is going to come in and make an impact. Trae Young is going to make an impact.
I think Anthony Davis may be a warrior.
Oh, you think? Oh, okay. What are the Warriors doing? Like, what's going on over there?
Wasting the twilight of one of the greatest NBA careers of all time, and it's shameful.
No,
it's shameful.
You got Draymond lecturing people on sportsmanship. I'm like,
bruh.
I didn't even bring that up. I'm like, Draymond, bro.
I
read the room.
I just
and I'm a Draymond guy. I'm the Michigan State guy on the show. I love Draymond, but Draymond. I said, is he lecturing people on sportsmanship?
I love Draymond too, but Draymond has had the misfortune of never being around someone that ever had the authority to just tell him to shut the hell up.
I mean, right.
And he had to do
it. I mean, he's a big black dude.
It's like, never happened.
Yeah, so, you know, like most people are intimidated by him.
Yeah, it's never happened.
Yeah, so, you know what I'm saying? Like he can beat most people up that he comes in contact with, so, you know, and then he got a lot of money. So, like, the people he can't beat up, he can control with the fact that he controls the purse
I just don't understand. I be like, bro, like, what? Even if it's true, you can't say that, bro.
Yeah.
Like, there's video of you knocking all the Sonic rings out of your own teammate, bro. Like, you.
Right. Like, yeah, I'm like, you giving the sportsmanship lecture.
Like, you can't even expound your shit amongst your teammates, dog. Like, man, please.
But another storyline emerging from the NBA draft is the ever-evolving storyline that is the Giannis trade. The Milwaukee Bucks have much of the league in a holding pattern as they consider this major decision. It was reported that the Bucks were open for business involving the versatile big man with a resolution expected prior to the draft. So let me just ask the people's champ, do you expect Giannis news prior to the draft, or do you expect this to continue to drag out?
Yeah, no, I think it'll be done by the draft, and because I think when July 1st starts, all the parts that'll be involved with it will be able to move, and then they'll start moving.
Yep. Yes, I agree. I tend to agree. Because I think they want someone's 2026 draft.
Yeah, right, exactly.
As a part of any package. So
because everything's going to change next year, and a certain team, a certain dance partner's pick may not have the same value.
Exactly. Yep. They people can't get 3 top 5 picks in a row, can't get back-to-back number 1. So whatever you're gonna do, you want to make that move post haste.
I see what you did there.
Yep. But if it doesn't happen by draft day, then my conjecture is that teams understand that the Bucks no longer have leverage.
Yeah.
Because Giannis is never putting on your uniform again. You didn't trade him when his value was at its highest. And one of these blockbuster trades hasn't resulted in a championship since the aforementioned Anthony Davis. And frankly, you need to do this more than we do. So, I wouldn't be surprised if teams weren't willing to part with draft capital or as much draft capital as they would have been willing to before.
Yeah.
And that's what's holding this thing up.
Yeah.
Because I halfway expected it to be done by now, but then I'm like, maybe, like after the finals is over, like more conversations will start to happen. But yeah, I just think that it could be a situation where they realizing that they don't really have to, because again, like if the dirty luck, and we talked about it with the Ja Morant situation. I'm like, what is a team going to be willing to offer for Ja Morant?
Jeez.
Because we know he ain't never playing for you again. Like, I might give you a second round pick if I'm feeling good on that day, and match and make the money match. But that's it. Yeah. I'm not going to give you a first round pick because he's not going to play for you anymore. Like, why exactly would we give up a first round pick? To pry him from your cold dead hand? Like,
right.
Because he's not playing for you again. He done already cursed the coach out, unless you're going to fire the coach and get somebody new and try to rekindle the relationship. We know that the relationship is dead. So,
right.
You know what I'm saying? We know he's sleeping on the couch and you sleeping up in the master suite. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know that thing dead. So you might well go on and send him on over here for the second round picking for these two players.
Hell, Glenn just stepped away. Glenn, like, I'm back on TV.
Right.
All right, enough of this shit. I'm through.
Right, yeah, right. You talking about with you back to Milwaukee. But yeah, so I'm like, I just think that I just think that the receiving teams are now I think they playing a little bit more hardball. So if we don't see something by the draft, my antennas are going to perk up. But I like you expect that we will.
Now, with Giannis in mind, how many years do you think he has left at, like, maybe I don't know if he's still at his peak, but how many Giannis-like seasons do you think he has left?
You know what? I started to put that down, but I was gonna save that for another day.
Oh, for until he actually gets traded.
Exactly.
Well, I think that's the biggest question
that's a
you have
great
to ask yourself going into
though.
Trading him, though.
You know why? Because he wants an extension from whoever he's traded to immediately.
Yeah, see.
I was gonna bring that up.
That sounds like snake oil.
I was gonna bring that up. What you got, nephew?
So the question I have is, what is the probability that you think that this Giannis deal ends up also involving Jalen Brown getting moved?
That I've seen that.
That's been the latest development.
Yes. Yep. And the thing is, I heard that what was putting the brakes on that was that Giannis wants an extension.
Oh, from Boston immediately?
Wherever he goes. Boston, Miami, he want that immediate extension when he gets there.
That sounds like snake oil to me, dog.
And that's what has been gumming up the works with a lot of these. And so that's I think that's a possibility, but Jalen Brown already has a large contract.
The biggest.
Yes. So him going to Milwaukee.
I don't think it's necessarily Milwaukee, by the way, that he would go to in that deal.
Right, Atlanta. Right, people saying
Atlanta.
Three-team
that's where
deal.
he's from, right?
Yep, 3-team deal, getting him to Atlanta. Yeah,
That would be nice.
That would, depending on what Atlanta had to give up.
Johnson? Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, I mean, him and Jalen Johnson.
They probably have to give up Dyson Daniels, maybe. And
I mean, to make that money, man.
Whatever
right.
it is. That
Ricochet.
That bum.
Yeah, I saw
sandwich.
Zachary Ricochet in there. But yeah, so like, I'm just wondering how all of that will work. And I'm wondering whether or not teams are just not eager to give that extension. I was going to bring that up.
Bruh.
And whether or not, because we're not going to be in next week, but after that, whether the Giannis trade went down or not, we was going to talk about whether or not he got extended and whether or not he had enough years left.
Right.
Because
we'll put it on the platter.
No, but that's a great question because I haven't given it enough thought is the answer to your question, because it is a great, compelling question, and so is yours, nephew. Like, I want to see if Jaylen Brown is actually, because there are rumblings that his relationship with the Celtics has, soured a little bit. So, no, man, all good, compelling stuff.
I understand that.
And just to note, our next episode is July 1st.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Oh, wow.
July 1st. Yep, right on the deadline. So it should be a lot of activity.
Saucy.
Yeah, a lot of activity on that day. Let's see. And yeah. And the last thing, man, for this. Oh yeah. The latest ESPN mock drafts has us taking Bennett Sturts at 21. Senior point guard out of Iowa.
Yeah, I've seen that for about a month.
Yeah, how do you feel about that pick for the Pistons?
He ain't gonna play.
Yeah,
I mean, as bad as we needed shooting last year, the kid we got from Tennessee didn't see the floor at all, and Lord knows we needed some shooting. So it's just like, I mean, hell, we could have used Jaden Akins at some points last year. So it's like, I mean, okay, we're gonna get guys that are experienced college players that are gonna go for the Motor City Cruise and light it up down there, I guess, at Wayne State. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, I still prefer Isaiah Evans. And
of course. I mean, if he's available, but I don't think Isaiah Evans will be there. You think he'll be there?
The same mock draft had him going 2 picks later to the Atlanta Hawks.
Really? Why do they have him falling?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like, why? And then another smallish point guard. We already got Marcus Sasser and Dennis Jenkins. They all the same size and do the same thing. Again, we just talked about that. We got too many guys vying for the same job already. Bennett Sturts is another smallish point guard. Please don't pick another guy that's the same player. We need long, athletic wings who can shoot the basketball. We don't have enough of them. Right, and bigs. We don't need another smallish wing. We got enough of them. We got Sasser and Dennis Jenkins. We already can't find enough minutes for the two of them. We got a Marcus Sasser. If we don't need Bennett Sturts, we got Marcus Sasser. Marcus Sasser probably better than him in the here and now. Marcus Sasser probably better than him. So please, like you said, don't get us another G leaguer, another guy for the Motor City Cruise. Please.
And shout out to the Motor City Cruise. Ain't no knocking here, but I'm just saying, like, our later first round picks tend to get stuck in that limbo, that developmental player limbo.
Bruh.
And we're at the point now where we've got a top 5 to 7 player in the NBA approaching his prime, and
come on, man,
a top 3 defender approaching his prime. So the time for playing around is up, dog.
It's over. I'm with you, bro. Man, let's talk about Brendan Sorsby, because
my man, the gambler.
Hey, man, he lit the internet on fire last week, man. Brendan Sorsby, who after being ruled ineligible by the NCAA, won an appeal that granted him the right to play football this upcoming season at Texas Tech, has decided to forego that eligibility and enter the 2026 NFL Supplemental Draft. Strong backlash from the NCAA, the Big 12, and other parties has led to him calling an end to his college career, according to his agent. Many believe had he declared for the draft after the end of last season, he would have been in the first-round mix. Cleveland Browns GM Andrew Berry, in a recent interview when asked about the Sorsby situation, says, quote, I really asked myself 2 questions. I asked, number one, is this a bad person or did they make a bad decision? And then the second piece is, what are they doing after the fact to correct the behavior? Is this a pattern of bad behavior? But I think the most important thing in Brendan's case is what he does from here. Obviously, it's a great first step to get the help he needs, unquote. So how do you feel about Andrew Berry's comments? Specifically, do you believe they mean that Sorsby is a viable NFL quarterback prospect? What say the people's champ?
What the hell, man? What is he, Betty Ford? And again, listen, glass house here, get ready to duck, I'm throwing stones. Listen, bro, you can't make yourself the haven house for, like, NFL players with X addiction,
right?
The home for it in Cleveland. Don't listen, man. You done just went through this shenanigans with Deshaun Watson and his whole fetish thing with the massages, bro. The last thing you need to do is bring in another guy that is a recovering addict. You don't need 2 addicts in your quarterback room.
No.
I just don't think it's a good idea. That's just me. Maybe Andrew Berry's probably a little more qualified to run an NFL team than I mean, but I just don't think
agree.
I just don't think that's the best idea. And like Andrew Berry to just kind of make himself like the expert on this type of thing, like is he a good person? And I do. Number one, Brendan Sorsby can play.
Yeah, I think so.
But I just don't think the Cleveland Browns of all teams needs to be the team he should be playing for.
Yeah, I don't.
That's just.
I don't think he'll go to Cleveland. By the way.
Yeah. Good God.
But he's going to have a pro day on July 10th, and it looks like all 32 teams are going to show up.
Is Brad Holmes going?
I doubt Brad Holmes will go. Likely a representative of the Lions will go, but I don't think we'll be in the mix for Sorsby.
Listen.
Listen.
I love Jared Goff, but hell, if you can get him like in a 3rd round supplemental hookup, why not?
He's going to go in the 1st round, that by all accounts.
Well, I don't think he's going in the 1st round. No team is giving up a 2027 1st-round pick for Brendan Sorsby. I'm sorry.
And then, too, that risk of gambling, man, the NFL.
Right. That's what I was just about to say.
That's a red flag.
Yeah.
Of course, I know they say he didn't bet on any games that he played in.
Right.
But
you don't know whether or not.
To go to rehab for gambling at 20.
Yeah, you don't really know what's happening there.
Yeah, so
that's the thing. Like it's just too much you don't know. And then I don't know if
we know enough that he had a serious lack of judgment.
No doubt.
Because there's a difference between just betting on sports and betting on your actual team.
Yes. I concur.
Like we kind of talked about it last week, but again, I just want to say that it ain't like you don't know. Even in the whole new world when sports betting is getting legalized and whatnot, at the end of the day, you should not be betting on something you're directly involved.
He broke the rules.
And to your point, nephew, if he's really an addict with this gambling, that is a problem.
That's a problem.
Right. Yes. And then going back to when we was talking about this last week when the judge was saying, irreparable harm and everything, the only person who was going to see irreparable harm was him after he had a bad game, and now you got the whole city of Lubbock saying, he just bet on his unders and cost us a game.
Right.
So at the end of the day, like, I'm sorry, somebody's going to take a chance on him.
They will.
Yes, they going to,
He's got too much talent.
Yep, I agree.
But
I'm with you.
I don't see
it.
Going in the first round.
I think he's going in the first round. That's what I'm saying, man.
I don't see him being more than a career backup. And that's not me trying to
I don't
harp on him or anything, but I just don't think the juice is not worth the squeeze. And I think Texas Tech realized that, because I think what really happened was that Texas Tech saw all these lawsuits coming in, and then other teams saying, we're not going to play y'all in other sports.
Right.
And they was like, this not going to work.
Yeah, they all but said
and we gonna let you have the grace to announce that you're going to the supplemental draft and make it seem like it's your choice. But at the end of the day, we're saving our own butt at this point because we got a business to run.
That's basically what his agent said. The agent, he said it was mutually agreed upon. Yeah. But, I agree with you, nephew. They was just like, look, man, this is, this is getting weird now. it's getting.
You messing our money up, dog.
It's getting to be too much. So I don't know whether or not you could build in. Probably not, because they have the Players Association, because somebody's going to take a chance on him.
Oh, for sure.
I heard that they were saying like a bigger Jackson Dart was his comp.
I've heard his comp. I've heard Jackson Dart. I've heard Josh Allen more than one occasion.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I've heard it like more than once. And if it's that kind of talent,
yeah, again, yeah, like
I mean,
you don't know whether or
guys
not
like Louis Riddick know more about scouting quarterbacks than I do.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
So,
That's what I've heard. So, yeah, no, I agree. Like I haven't seen enough of him to make any intelligent type.
and then it's the NFL. You can put a flyer on him if he stinks. You cut him and you're done with it.
That's it. Yeah. There are 5 quarterback hungry teams that have been identified: Arizona Cardinals, Cleveland Browns, New York Jets, Miami Dolphins, Minnesota Vikings.
Oh,
You want to see any of these teams land Sorsby or another team entirely? What say the People's Champ?
Damn, I don't know if I gave it that much thought. I think Arizona might be one of those teams where he can kind of go there with not a lot of expectations. He's got younger weapons there with him that if he's able to get a hold of, some of his issues and kind of lock in, he can maybe grow with. They've got a new coach there. Maybe Arizona, Minnesota. Actually, I want to see if Kyler Murray wins that job, what he can do if they keep him clean with those kind of weapons in a dome.
Yeah,
I'm interested in that. Cleveland. I mean, why not? Why not? I mean, it'll go well for us. I mean, hey, we love Cleveland in the fall, so I mean. Why not?
For some reason, I'm subscribed to heavy on Browns. I get a lot of Cleveland info.
Like,
I don't even know how that happened. All of a sudden, people from Cleveland started to
216
and started to reach out to me, and I'm sure that I could probably go down there and get a free beer somewhere.
And then the Jets. Why not?
Why not?
I mean, they're they're in a kitchen sink scenario with their quarterbacks every year. So
they lost 14 games by a combined 240 points last year.
Yeah,
so
the Jets can never.
Why
fall
not?
Off, yeah, they can never fall off the floor.
You're right. I was gonna say you're right. They would have to fall up.
So yeah, the Jets are always the usual suspect. If not, they can always.
And a dark horse I saw in there was Pittsburgh Steelers. Man, shout out to Ty.
Oh, Ty, how do you feel about Brendan Sorsby?
What you got, though?
I think anything more than a 4th-round pick would be too much.
I mean, yeah.
I think,
I can roll
and
with
again, I don't want to just pass judgment, like final judgment on Brendan Sorsby, but if I was going like thinking about the 2027 draft before this, Brendan Sorsby was not one of the first names on my mind when it came to quarterbacks.
No.
And I'm not about to waste a day 1 or day 2 pick on a possibility of somebody who, again, like Lance say, may or may not actually be an addict.
Yeah. I mean, right. That's the thing. So I think that the only reason that he's drawing as much attention is because the 2026 class was weak. Not because, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think 2027, you're right. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I don't think people thinking about 20. You know what I'm saying? The NFL is a right now league.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Aaron Glenn ain't thinking about 2027. But I promise you, bro.
But it's to your and then to your point about the comparables. Another name that I've heard was Drake May.
Oh yeah.
I've heard a lot of. So I mean, and you look at last year, Drake May just played in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying Brendan Sorsby.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
But that's
right.
what I've heard. And I mean,
And Aaron Glenn is not thinking about 2020. Aaron Glenn, if he have another year like last year,
Aaron
he's
Glenn
not
trying to make it to the bye week.
Yeah,
dog.
you feel me? So I'm like, Aaron Glenn's he ain't thinking about 2027. He's trying. He gonna do whatever he got to do for 2026 because 2026 is all that he has.
Amen.
So but I get you. I agree. Like if I'm taking the long view, yes, I'm not trying to give up a lot, but the interest is so high for him now because that was such a weak quarterback draft. You know, I mean, the Rams took Ty Simpson.
Yeah. I mean, I get it.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, I get it.
I mean, but that's a totally different situation from the ones that you described.
Because, I mean, Stafford's 40.
Yeah, I mean, but
Stafford's still playing.
yeah, and Ty Simpson would have probably been there. Like, I don't think anybody else was going to take him. You probably could have got him in the second round. But, I mean, again, a conversation for another day. I don't really want to belabor that. But, I mean, Ty Simpson, I don't think anybody was going to take him. You know what I'm saying? Like, who was coming for him? Like, that's one of them. But, you know, then again, I mean, the Rams are pretty shrewd. And they don't, I mean, like, if you look at their 2024 draft, they didn't miss. So,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's the flip side of the coin. Like, I think they picks in 2024 was Jared Verse, and then they got the defensive tackle. They got Cam Kinchins, and they got Corum, the running back.
Oh, yeah. Mission zone.
Yep. All starters. They got all starters, bro. All contributors, bro. Our 2024 draft is a who's who of who.
Where is Ennis Rakeshaw?
Right.
Have you seen him?
He on a milk carton,
Have you seen that man?
Manu, we got Gianni, Manu, and our 2024 draft was nothing, dog. Like, you look at the Rams 2024 draft, it's like starter. And then Jared Verse, Andrew Berry said that they wouldn't have traded Myles Garrett if Jared Verse wasn't included. And he was their first pick in 2024. So he landed them the best pass rusher in football. But I digress, man. Let's talk about your boy, Russell Wilson. He announced his retirement. This was a couple of weeks ago. We're a little bit behind on this one, but I wanted to get the people's champ's opinion. Russell Wilson has officially retired from the NFL after a 14-year career to transition to a broadcasting role. He said goodbye to his fans in a social media post via video, and then later announced that he had accepted an analyst job with CBS Sports. He will have a role on the NFL Today. Wilson was a 10-time Pro Bowler and a Super Bowl champ. He ends his career with 46,966 yards, 353 touchdown passes, and for 9 out of his 10 seasons as a Seahawk, his team posted a winning record. So I'm going to just ask you a very hotly debated question. Is Russell Wilson a future Hall of Famer? We'll say the people's champ.
Sheesh. I think he's like right on the edge.
I agree. Yep.
Like, I don't know, man, because like Joe Theismann still ain't in the Hall of Fame, bro.
Yeah, no, the NFL Hall of Fame is different.
You know what I mean? And it's
not like the basketball Hall of Fame.
And Theismann has a league in an MVP.
Yep.
You know, Russell never got a league MVP.
Nope.
Is Phil Simms in? I don't even think Phil Simms. I'm trying to think of like quarterbacks that won.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, the NFL Hall of Fame is tough.
Now, here's the thing with Russell, too. If he would have, like, stopped
right after Seattle,
then I'd be like, because then I would go, hey, man, y'all let Doug Flutie in.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'd be like, all right. But, man, those last couple years, dog, I mean, it was some legendarily bad stuff going on.
No, if he would have had the sense to know I need to hand the ball off right now, he would be in.
Yep.
I was saying if he would have got 2 Super Bowls.
Yep. Because he'd have been a Super Bowl MVP.
So you're saying if he'd have had 2 Super Bowls, well, no, if he would have handed the ball off, Beast Mode would have won Super Bowl MVP.
You think? Okay.
Oh, hell yeah. Because that whole last drive,
it don't matter.
Was him.
But he'd have been a 2-time.
He would have been a 2-time Super Bowl champion over the 2 quarterback GOATs of our generation.
But here's where I counter with the Phil Simms argument, because I feel both of those quarterbacks would have won 2 Super Bowls, but would have both been anchored by all-time elite defenses.
Mm-hmm.
So I that's where I struggle with that. That's why I say I think he's like right on the edge. Like if Phil and Theismann were in, I'd be like, yeah, he's a shoe-in. But it's like when you got guys with similar accolades, and then they're still not in. It just kind of depends on like who's voting that particular year. You know what I mean? Now I think Russell may eventually get in.
Yep, I think
because
so,
I
too.
think Russell eventually is going to have like an NFL front office kind of job. I think he's either going to be working in New York or for a franchise or for a team, and then like when he's like on like the last like a Drew Sharp, what was my man for the Cowboys? The receiver, the first 88. Drew Pearson.
Yeah, there you go.
A deal like that, where like on one of his last few years of eligibility, he gets in. You know what I'm saying? Or if they let like Eli in, that kind of kicks the door down.
Yeah.
For like every mid-level and above quarterback. So yeah. I think he's right there.
Yep. Yeah, no, I'm kind of with you. I didn't even write a commentary on it because I'm torn too. I think that he may eventually get in on his playing career, but the NFL is harder. They're harder on Hall of Fame than I think other sports.
Yeah, they're kind of fickle, bro. Like,
yeah. And so I'm like, it's gonna be tough for him. I mean, he is a 10-time Pro Bowler out of a 14-year career. I do agree that the last part of the career was memorable for all the wrong reasons.
And let's keep it a buck. The majority of his career, the Pro Bowl didn't mean anything,
right?
Like it did back in years prior.
Yeah.
Because hell, probably the last 5 of them, they were playing two-hand touch in the flag.
I know. Yeah, I know. The Pro Bowl has been reduced to goofball time.
Yeah.
But again, a conversation for
But a hell of a career, though. Like, I didn't want it to turn into the how good he wasn't segment.
Right, because he for a time, he was really outstanding.
And definitely got the most out of what God gave him physically.
No doubt.
I mean, you talking a guy probably 5'11" on a good morning.
Yep. Speaking of Jalen Brunson, you know what I'm saying? Like, Russell Wilson was very much, the football version of that. Like, getting the most out of his physical abilities, man, and just a winner. You know what I'm saying? He was just a winner. So
and a freakish athlete too.
Yep.
Like Jalen Brunson, like what they do, only they can do.
Yep.
Because of like how they're built and constructed,
and they can contort themselves in different ways.
Like you look at Russell Wilson, not about average height, but hands are huge.
Yep. Strong,
fast twitch, hard to bring down, and got a rocket launcher on his right shoulder.
Yep, most definitely.
But yeah, congratulations, Russell.
Yep, most
and
definitely.
A good dad too.
Yep, no doubt about that, man. And that's important. Yep, good man. Let's talk about the World Cup, man. We don't do much soccer on here, and to call myself a casual fan would be an insult to casual fans everywhere. But in their first match in group play, the U.S. men's national team put on a superlative performance against Paraguay, inspiring confidence that they can make a run in the 2026 World Cup. The team started and finished aggressively, dominating possessions throughout en route to a 4-1 victory. The 4 goals were the most scored by a U.S. men's national team in a World Cup match ever. In the 15,986,000 viewers across all broadcasting and streaming sites was a record as well. The men play again on Friday when they face off against Australia. I know that neither one of us is even a casual soccer fan, so there will be no in-depth question here. But are you following the World Cup, and do you have any insights or opinions on this?
Following would be a bit extreme.
Right.
I mean, I have peeked in here and there. I did see all of Messi's goals.
Okay.
That was pretty incredible.
Yeah, I was going to say, he had a great day.
And, in terms of the U.S. team, though, as for the men, now, there was a time where I did watch soccer.
Okay.
I do remember watching, like, the 99 women's team, like, that entire gold medal game.
Gotcha,
I remember that, like, vividly. And the whole Freddie Adu era and all and all of that stuff. But I do recall that the men for the national team did a complete overhaul in terms of coaches, training. I think Alex Alex Karras is kind of like heading that up now, so they
Okay.
kind of made it a more so they can kind of be on par with the women in terms of being competitive around the world. And it looks like it may be showing.
Cut your mic on now.
He'll say this. This current national team for the men, the process of kind of like finding the talent and bringing it in started when Jurgen Klinsmann was brought in. So that was about, what, 2014-ish, I want to say.
Okay.
Well,
So that when he came in and he started trying to find all the dual nationals and whatnot, that's when the whole process of finding the talent that we currently have
Got it. Okay.
kind of started, and they kind of start trying to put more into the youth programs and whatnot to try to build that talent, because I don't think for America it was never the question of do we have the ability to play soccer.
Right.
It's if we have do we have the skill.
Right. No, that's real. No, that's good stuff, nephew. And nephew is the most well versed in soccer, man. Nephew used to get up when he lived with us years ago, and he's the only person I ever knew. He would watch. Was that Premier League, nephew? That you
Yeah.
watch? He would watch Premier League every Saturday morning. He was a real soccer fan.
my Lord.
Like for real, yeah, like no doubt.
him
Yeah,
and
like
Kimani.
Yeah.
the game on Friday, and I know the question that you kind of had is this the year the U.S. finally makes some noise?
Right.
So, to that question, I asked, what is making noise?
Semifinals, quarterfinals, actual like getting out of group play, making a.
Can we just get out of group play?
So we're gonna get. I feel like we're gonna get out of group play.
Okay, hey, I'm
Okay.
cool with
So
that.
the thing is, though, this is the first year they expanded the tournament from 32 to I think it's like 48.
Right. Okay.
So kind of projecting anything past the group stage is kind of a fool's errand, because who you could end up playing could be a multitude of teams. Like we can go from playing, I think it's like Bosnia and Herzegovina to possibly playing Germany in the
Right,
first
yeah.
knockout round.
Germany
So,
is a killer. Yeah,
so
I
you,
do know
you
Germany
don't know.
is
So
great,
like,
yeah.
Did
I
Germany
think-
win the last World Cup?
no, Argentina won the
Argentina
last
won
one.
the last.
And then Spain is the reigning European champions. So when it comes to like saying, can they make noise? Like, do I believe they have the ability to make it to the knockout stages, possibly make it to the round of 16, round of 8? Most definitely. And I think if they start, because that, and back to what I was about to say originally, that game on Friday, that was the first time I ever saw America that aggressive
Yeah.
on the offensive end. Like,
Okay.
yes, they've been able to put together 2-3 goal games, 4 goal games every now and then in my time of being a soccer fan. But the way that they was aggressive and playing attacking football on Friday was something I never saw as a soccer fan. And I think that bodes well for what's going to go on for at least the rest of the group stage. And if they can carry that momentum, and if they play an exciting brand of football, I think the country would get behind them.
Oh, most
Similar
definitely.
to 1999, because even though I wasn't watching the game or anything, I still remember where I was that day of the World Cup final.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, I think if they can put together some impressive results, yeah, I think they can make some noise and get to the quarterfinals possibly. But do I think they are going to be the Spain or France or Argentina or any one of the other favorites? That's kind of tough for me to say.
Yeah, that's a tall
At the end of the
task.
day.
How many World Cups away would you say the U.S. is to catching up to the elite of the elite on the world stage? Because then, to your point,
That's a great question.
there's some player development involved on the national level that has to happen for some years before we have that culture
No doubt.
where that's the expectation. How far away do you think we are?
I think it depends on how this World Cup goes.
Okay.
Because I don't know if y'all have noticed, I've pretty much noticed it's a lot of
Yeah,
multiculturalism
for sure.
in the national team, and I think like with the striker, I don't want to get his name wrong, but with the striker who had the hat trick on Friday, if the younger generation, like if saying like for example my nephew, if he catches a couple moments or whatnot, it might inspire him like, hey, I might want to play soccer. I think this is important so I would say, I feel like the U.S. can compete at any World Cup.
Yeah.
Okay.
But to me, I think we still at least a generation away before I feel like we might have a chance at saying, hey, we're one of the best, because I think it's going to take, you have to get the athletic talent away from thinking basketball and football are the only options at the end of the day. And it's not in soccer. Soccer is not like baseball where you're pretty much priced out at this point because it's so expensive to play youth baseball. I think youth soccer is more accessible. So it's just a matter of people opening it up and actually trying it out and actually just not getting past the whole, it's 90 minutes, it's only maybe 1 or 2 goals, I'm running around for something, and try to, if they can find the parts of the game that are beautiful, because I feel like it's basketball on grass at the end of the day. It might not be as high pace and high scoring, but making the right passes and making the right movements and everything it's just like it is in basketball. So I think if we can get a younger generation fully bought in on soccer is an avenue, then I think we'll be able to truly compete at a World Cup, because I think then we will have the combination of athleticism and skill, because I think what might end up happening is a lot of the people that's on the team now may end up deciding, hey, I want to give back to the youth, and I want to get into youth coaching and try to help grow the game that way in America.
I love it, man. That's all good stuff. And we definitely going to be keeping our eye on the World Cup. That's a great conversation, and you're right. Yep, I think that we have to, foster a soccer culture here in the United States, like we have basketball, football, baseball culture. Let's talk about the Chicago Bears' new stadium location just briefly. The Chicago Bears are aggressively advancing plans to build a new multi-billion-dollar domed stadium and entertainment district in Hammond, Indiana, after negotiations for public funding and tax relief stalled with Illinois lawmakers. The Bears board of directors formally voted to move forward with plans in Hammond, taking advantage of more attractive financial terms offered by Indiana leadership. The team is actively investigating different land tracts in Wolf Lake, which is the Hammond area. The door is said not to be completely closed on remaining in the state of Illinois, but presently the Bears are moving forward with the stadium plan in Hammond. Many have said that a location, a minimum of 25 miles from Chicago, for a local team is too far, while others have said that many stadiums reside various distances from city centers and in some instances are in different states. The organization is more concerned with the fan experience, quality of the stadium complex, and overall quality of the facility than it is with proximity to specific metropolitan areas. So who is right in this situation? The fans, who want the convenience of a true hometown stadium, or an organization who wants to build the best, most modern stadium for the best possible price?
Yeah, man. Welcome to the 21st century. Welcome to the 21st century, dude. Like, stop.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, this is, I get it. Like, when you say it on its face and you don't do any digging, it's like, oh,
right.
You're taking the Bears out of Chicago.
Right.
Bro, they 25 miles up the road.
Right.
Like, stop. I mean, this is coming from Lions fans that have to drive to Pontiac
Yep.
for the majority of our lives.
And Pistons fans who had to drive to Auburn Hills.
And for a lot of those years, we sucked.
Right.
So it's
many
like,
of them.
Yeah, so like Miss Me was the idiot at. You think I'm going to feel sorry for Bears fans. Man, y'all in our division too. Yeah, whatever. Like, drive. Get your snow tires.
Yeah.
And drive. Like, whatever. But no, I of course you have your diehards. And I guess with Chicago, with it being, one of the original NFL franchises.
Sure.
I get that aspect of it.
Yeah.
But outside of that, come on. This is how business is done nowadays.
Yeah, I was going to say, listen, I mean, on the one hand, I understand the fans because Detroit has a fabulous sports complex. Let me just, dote on my city for a minute.
No doubt.
Because as the People's Champ pointed out, for many years, we drove to Pontiac and Auburn Hills to see the Lions and Pistons respectively. And those are, quite a many miles outside of the city. And now everything is centrally located in downtown Detroit. And you can basically walk from one stadium to the next. I mean, Comerica Park, you can throw a rock from Comerica Park and literally hit Ford Field. Yep. So I do like that the Detroit sports complex is basically in one convenient area. With that being said, I mean, the sports franchise, it is there to make money. And they are trying to negotiate. Listen, they build in these stadiums. Let's say it frankly, they don't want to pay for it. they want somebody else to pay for it. And if the state of Illinois ain't gonna play ball, then the state of Indiana will.
Right. I mean, that's just how it goes.
Yeah. I mean, and I know that it does suck for the fans, and I do sympathize. Because, again, as we pointed out, we had to drive a long way for a long time in order to be, fans of a team, particularly the Lions that wasn't very good. At least the Pistons, they won us some championships out in Auburn Hills. So,
right.
You know what I'm saying?
And the shock.
Yeah, and the shock, yeah. So, that's why it was called 5 championship drive. But yeah, the Lions, they won us nothing. Well, they won us, they won us nothing.
Yeah.
They won us a couple divisions, I guess. But at any rate, let's move on. Let's talk about this Aspiration / LA Clippers investigation. The NBA is currently investigating the LA Clippers and team owner Steve Ballmer over allegations of circumventing the league salary cap by funneling a $28 million endorsement deal to star player Kawhi Leonard through a defunct green banking firm named Aspiration. Reports allege that the Clippers and Ballmer directed money to Leonard via a 4-year marketing contract with Aspiration to bypass salary restrictions. Ballmer had personally invested $50 million in the company. The initial allegations came to light following internal documents brought forward via Pablo Torre's Finds Out podcast, hat tip to them. The NBA has retained an outside firm to investigate. So far, they have interviewed Steve Ballmer, Kawhi Leonard, and his uncle Dennis Robertson. Aspiration's co-founder, Joseph Sandberg, has already pleaded guilty to 2 counts of federal wire fraud and has been sentenced to 14 years in prison. Prosecutors proved that Sandberg defrauded lenders and investors of over $248 million.
Oh.
Aspiration officially filed for bankruptcy in 2025. The NBA is expected to render its findings in this investigation any day now, as NBA Commissioner Adam Silver said recently, quote, "At some point, we have to wrap it up," unquote. When they do wrap it up, do you expect for either Kawhi Leonard or Ballmer to be found guilty of any wrongdoing? And if so, do you expect any punishment from the league? What say the People's Champ?
I think Ballmer may get slapped on the wrist for being woefully dumb.
Yep.
Kawhi, I think if anything happens to him, it'll be more so to his Uncle Dennis, per se.
Right.
They may finally put some parameters around his influence with Kawhi going forward. But, I mean, the Clippers are I think maybe at worst they may lose a draft pick in the future and pay a fine.
Yep.
But I think with Ballmer, what he has in his back pocket is, bringing one of the newer, more innovative stadiums
Sure.
to the NBA. And, I think that would give him enough leverage where, he can just get a little warning slap and, a stern talking to.
Yeah, I mean, right. I think that I kind of agree with you. I think the most that we would see is fines, for Ballmer and or Kawhi.
Yeah.
And or the Clippers, you know what I'm saying? Like for engaging in, negligence. I have a hard time believing that they'll find anything that was willful, which is why I think the investigation is taking so long. I think that the way that this was all set up, even if it was willful, I think it was set up in a manner where, Steve Ballmer would have plausible deniability. I mean, the guy is not a dummy. Like he's made
Lawrence Tech alum.
Right. Yeah. I mean, he's made billions of dollars. He hasn't made billions of dollars because he's not a smart guy who understands business. He understands how to set up something in a manner in which he'll have plausible deniability, irrespective of whether or not it was done purposefully.
Yep.
So I think that, again, yeah, like it even if it was willful, it was made to look like negligence.
Yeah.
And it will look like negligence, and he'll be treated like it was negligence and slapped on the wrist because, I mean, like, what's the dude worth? $9 billion?
Yeah.
So, a couple $1 million fine. I mean, what he...
I have your measly $3
exactly, yeah, like
with interest.
So yeah, I don't really foresee any meaningful punishment, and I also believe, like me and you were talking about before we came on, I also believe that whatever the findings of this investigation are, they know what they are now, but they're waiting for the draft, the Giannis trade, the new league year, LeBron to sign somewhere, so that news drowns out whatever this news is.
Yep.
They don't want this to capture the headlines for any more than a day or so. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't want this to be a headline for very long. So I do think that, the findings are probably in, and they're waiting for the right time to report them, give them to the press, and then there'll be another big NBA story probably immediately in the wake. That's my conjecture.
Yeah.
But that's that. So we're on to the SS segment. Anybody see any SS this week? Anybody got anything for that?
Josh Hokett, and that's all the energy I'm going to give it.
Who is it? Fill me in on who Josh Hokett is.
The main eventer at the UFC event.
Oh,
on this
yeah,
Sunday night.
okay.
And that's all the energy I'm giving it.
I was going to say the whole event in a whole, even though I like the concept, like having an event at the White House just seems like a great visual, and it was a great visual, but it was a lot of coonery going on.
Yeah.
And I'm not in that, and that's not me, just all around, no matter, race.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying.
No ways,
yeah, like,
race is
no matter which side of the
prohibited.
aisle you
Yeah.
stand on, no matter
It
what
was
race
a lot
you are.
of like y'all out there fighting on the White House lawn, and I'm not talking about the fighters. I'm talking about the fans.
Yeah, actually,
Like
yeah.
the videos I was seeing, it's crazy.
Yeah, a lot of SS
Yeah.
going on at the event. Yeah, you know what? That's a good one. Yeah, I mean, insulting people, calling people names, and doing all kinds of nonsense. Yep, and then doing it at the White House, and then even opening up the White House for something like that. I mean, that's kind of low rent. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, these dudes are using like congressmen and generals as like their valets. Like, here's General Stevens playing Bobby Heenan and score. Like, what is this?
Not
man?
Bobby Heenan.
Like, it was just foolishness. And then, like I say, to cap it off with that nonsense, and you know, and again, we just in this era now where you can just say whatever the hell you feel like, and there's zero repercussions, especially when it's towards a certain gender of a certain hue. You know,
Right.
it can just, you know, just kind of just fly free whenever you want to.
You can say it on the internet.
Yeah, and
Don't do that in people's faces because it could go the wrong way. I'm just throwing caution out there. I'm not making a threat. I'm just saying don't. Everybody ain't going for that in person. That's all I'm gonna say. Don't do it to everybody's face.
and a lot of y'all ain't trained MMA fighters neither.
Yeah,
And none of them are skin made of Kevlar. And I'll
Yeah.
just leave that at that.
don't be in people's faces insulting people. Just do that on the stay on the internet.
See how that's been working out for Chud.
Yeah, you see, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, stay on the internet with it. That's
But yeah, man, like that was just, just more of the same, I
Yeah.
guess, from 1600 Pennsylvania.
what you got, Neff.
Last thing I got, Lance, have you heard any updates on Eric Andre?
What happened to Eric Andre? I like Eric Andre. No, that's my
He
guy.
got his ass whooped by the bloodline on wrestling on
Oh, did he?
Monday. Oh, yeah.
That's my guy.
Yeah, man. He was trying to play things too sweet with Roman and Jacob Fatu and them. He got put together. Yeah, I did see that.
I'm just gonna tease.
I hope he's all right.
I'm gonna do a Mythbusters next time. We on.
I think I'm going to WWE next month.
The Mythbusters I'm doing is that the loser of the finals is the second best team in the NBA.
Oh,
I'm doing Mythbusters on that because you remember a certain media individual talked about medals in the NBA. Because a certain individual lost in the finals several times, and he said that he got silver medals those years. You don't remember that rap by Nick Wright talking about?
I know, but what I'm saying is this is fantasy land.
Exactly right. I'm like, that's a kindergarten approach.
Oh, no, dog.
No.
You lost just the same.
Right. Like, there's no medals in
the loser did
professional
the year
sports.
before, dog.
I'm like, yeah, the league is bisected into two conferences, guys. Like, the second best team many of those years was probably in the Western Conference, but I'll save my Mythbusters.
Oh yeah, because 2019, the second best team in the NBA to me would still probably be the Houston Rockets. Healthy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
okay. I like that.
Yeah, we gonna Mythbusters that. But I got a few Mythbusters topics we gonna hit over the summer, and they might even turn into debate roundtables.
Okay.
Before we sign off, I just want to shout out Eric Mayer in the chat, telling y'all keep up the good work. Nice setup.
Man, thank you. I
Appreciate the
appreciate
love,
it,
Eric.
Eric, man. Yeah, come on, man. Make sure to hit that like button, Eric, man, and make sure that you interact with all of the content, bro. We appreciate you, man.
Thanks for tapping in, Brody.
None of this is possible without the Everybody Has One family. We appreciate y'all so very, very much, man. We will see y'all again back here on July 1st. That is the start of the new league year. Go ahead.
Happy Father's Day, brother.
Oh, I appreciate that. Yep, I will be out next week, man. I'll be traveling this weekend, man, with my beautiful wife. Gonna take a little vacay, man. Need a little R&R, you know what I'm saying? And then,
Wrong with that, man.
And he got to bring my nephew up here for me.
Yeah, most definitely. Yep, we'll be back with nephew, and then my son, who is in the Navy, he'll be here on July 1st, man. So all kinds of good family stuff getting ready to come up, man, around the holidays. So. All is well, but thanks to the Everybody Has One family, man. We got a lot of exciting stuff, too, coming up with the Everybody Has One family. We're going to start the debate roundtables, man. So we're going to be in the group chat talking and brainstorming on some of that, talking about who we want to have involved in that. So we're going to be reaching out to some of the family and talking about what our first topic is going to be, man. So that should be a lot of fun. And I think the visual on that is going to be a lot of fun as well. We thank y'all for continuing to tap in with us, continuing to interface with us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. That's Everybody Has the #1 sports podcast on YouTube. That's Everybody Has One spelled out sports podcast everywhere else. That's Instagram. That's Facebook. That's Twitch. That's Threads, and that's TikTok. The audio version of the podcast is available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Make sure y'all tapping in with us there. When you hit that subscribe button on YouTube, make sure to hit that bell notification. When you hit that bell notification, make sure you hit all so that you are notified every time we post new content, new videos, new shorts, and, of course, every time we go live, which is every Wednesday around 8:30 or as close as we can get to it. We will see y'all back here Wednesday after next on July 1st. Until then, man, everybody stay safe, man. Y'all stay blessed. And again, to all of the fathers out there, man, happy Father's Day.
Yes, indeed.
And we will check y'all out, man. It's the Everybody Has One podcast. Peace.